we got this statement from Governor Pritzker's office, and wow, it's a pretty bold statement. I'm just going to read you a part of this. He said, Donald Trump is a racist, a homophobe, a grifter, and a threat to this country. He can now add one more title to his list, a felon. Strong words from our governor.
Yeah, and that's what the Democrats are going to say. But I think the problem is right now for the Democrats is their whole notion is we're going to build a coalition of people that just don't want Trump. And we don't hear from, and I'm not putting Governor Pritzker in this category because he does talk about his accomplishments. We don't hear much from President Biden on what he's done and what he's going to do. They are just solely right now trying to build a coalition of people that hate Trump. And I'm not sure if they're there yet. I'm not sure if this puts them over the top or not, but that's what the Democrats are going to, that's what you're going to hear at the convention in 4 or 5 weeks here in Chicago.
Speaking of President Biden, his campaign spokesperson just releasing a statement as well, basically saying Trump's conviction shows no one is above the law. There's still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office. That is at the ballot box. Excuse me. I said, convicted felon or not, Trump will be the Republican nominee for president.
You know, it's an interesting time for our country, too, that this is happening, before the election. And it's also a very tenuous time. We see the amount of people that are at that courthouse every day standing outside. We had some live shots of that earlier. I'm sure those crowds are only going to grow even larger. You have to wonder about the 12 jurors that made this decision unanimous. It had to be unanimous, or they would have had to go back to the table and start all over again. How do you think this impacts? I'll ask both of you this question, both Paris and Pat. And Paris, let's start with you. How does this impact the tone of this year's election now? Because we know what it's already been like.
Yeah, Sylvia, I was just thinking about that point right now. The tone could get much darker and more ominous than it has been. I mean, I think Donald Trump has shown that he's willing to go as far as he wants to go in terms of divisive rhetoric, ominous rhetoric, dark rhetoric, and perhaps his supporters get louder in their tone and they show up to his rallies in greater numbers and they cheer louder. Another thing that this election comes down to is which side stays home, which side is motivated to get out to vote. I mean, there was an argument to be made that a lot of former Trump voters, or some percentage of them, were kind of ambivalent right now, and they're thinking, I don't really think I want to vote at all. I'm going to stay home. Does a verdict like this embolden some of those fringe Trump voters to get out there and vote, saying, you know what, I'm not crazy about the guy, but I buy what he's saying here, that it's just because he's Trump that our system is rigged against him. There's so many different scenarios where this can work in his favor. And as you mentioned, Sylvia, it seems inevitable that he's going to go darker with the tone, because that's when his back is against the wall, he goes scorched earth. We know that. I don't know, Pat, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. And typically, we've seen it here for years. We've all been around for a long time. When there's an indictment, it's kind of one thing. But then there's a conviction, that's another thing, meaning people like, okay, we're kind of done with this. But Donald Trump's the only person I've ever seen that has been indicted at state or federal level that has gone so aggressively after the system. In all these cases, it's after even from the very beginning, the Mueller report, everything. It's a witch hunt. They're after me. I'm a victim. This is all rigged. It's not. But he's been very effective. Even the election denier people, they believe, 70% of Republicans believe that the election was stolen. So he's very, very effective at this. He's been a media guy his entire career in New York. So this is so unique, but it's so distracting. I was just thinking as Paris was talking, I remember the cover of The Economist in 2008. It was John McCain and Barack Obama, and it said, America at its best. Two guys fighting it out. Obama wins. McCain congratulates him in one of the most gracious speeches I've ever seen. We move forward. But with Trump, I think if he loses this election, we're still going to hear him screaming that it was stolen. So he's just been a very, I know the Republicans get mad at me for this, but he's been so destructive to the country. And this really affects us globally. People look to us, not just for military strength, but for economic strength and for leadership. We're still that shining city on a hill, and we've got this guy now out there screaming, that the system's rigged against him and it's a corrupt country. It's just all bad.